Thank you for tuning into The Boxing Voice. It's your boy, Jeremy Flanagan. The Boxing Voice has been uncovering great detail on what may have actually took place on last Saturday night between Deontay Wilder and Dominic Breazeale. While trying to find common ground between both sides of this story, we was able to get Dominic Breazeale's trainer on the line, Manuel Robles, with us, and we was able to ask him a few questions, and he gave his side of what took place on that Saturday night. Let's tune in.
Manny, how are you doing? First and foremost, thank you obviously for giving us the time so early over there on the West Coast to interview you. Unfortunately, it is not the sexiest topic, but one that is concerning to many boxing fans. I also want to congratulate you on the big win that Dominic had over the weekend versus the undefeated Izunu. It was a great fight, which probably stole the action that night. But we would like to get your thoughts on what took place between Dominic Breazeale and Team Wilder in this hotel lobby from your own words, so that, you know, there's so many rumors flying around. I mean, we've heard that you were even hit in the head repeatedly with blows. So we just want to know where the truth is at.
Well, the truth is, you know, it's an unfortunate situation what happened. It should not be overlooked. This is something that should not be happening in boxing, or, you know, it's a dirty shame, man. What happened that night? I'm still pretty shook up about the whole situation. You know, you can't just forget about what happened. I feel bad for Dominic. I feel bad for his wife and children, that they had to go through such a horrible experience. All of us, as a, you know, Cutman, Carlos, Jerry, the corner, myself, and, you know, that was a team that night. You know, we were in a room. We were in a room, all of us together. The team, there were seven of us, including his wife and children, just you know, talking about the fight, celebrating the win, and we decided to come downstairs to go have dinner. Let's go to a restaurant. We found a restaurant nearby the hotel, and I said, you know, we all got together. Let's go celebrate. Let's go hang out. And as we took the elevator down to the lobby, as soon as we walked out, we saw Dominic's opponent. And, you know, he was kind enough, gracious enough to talk to us for a minute and talk about the fight, and, you know, show good sportsmanship like we all should, win or lose. So, you know, Dominic took a picture with him and the kids, and you know, had a nice little nice conversation. And anyway, we went about our business, and as we were walking towards the hotel lobby, you know, we encountered Deontay and his crew and whatnot, and Deontay got in Dominic's face and pretty much just went off on Dominic and got really aggressive and running his face, and you know, Dominic obviously was trying to calm the situation down. I never left Dominic's sight. I was right there with him from beginning to end, and try to talk, you know, Deontay out of the situation and say, hey, listen, man, you know, we got his wife and kids. And I said that repeatedly, wife and kids, man, got the wife and kids, we got the kids. And he just kept going on and on and on and on. I had my arm in between both Deontay and Dominic, right, the middle, to try to calm the situation down. And he asked me to, he says, "Take your hands off of me." And I never had my hands on. You take your hands off me. And, of course, I never, again, like I said, I never let go of Dom. And things just got worse. Punches were thrown. And, of course, there was nowhere to go. There was nowhere to hide. What do? Do you run? If you run, it's worse. And then, like I said, the wife and the kids, I mean, what do you do? What do you do in a situation like that? I mean, there's plenty of proof. There's plenty of video, the footage out there that show exactly what happened. Dominic got jumped. Dominic hit the ground. Try to help him back up. Jerry, again, Carlos, the current man, myself, we were pretty much the only ones defending Dominic. There's a couple of other people there that try to interfere and try to calm the situation down. Now that I see the footage, because it all happened so, it felt like it lasted forever. And, made our way back into the elevator. And there was another restaurant right by the elevator door. There's a pub. And I looking for help, looking for someone to really, there's no security, there's no cops, there's nothing. We're on our own. And until I saw Lou DiBella. And I ran to Lou DiBella, man, and I asked him for help. I implored, help. Please help us. He didn't know what was going on. Please help us. Please help us. And so he walked out of the restaurant on to, talk to whomever was there, Deontay, whomever was there, to try to calm the situation down. And I really think that's what did it. I really think that's when things, calmed down more. But we were desperate because we lost sight of the kids. We lost sight of the when Dominic hit the ground, after he was punched by an individual. His wife ran towards Dominic, her husband, and so that's when the kids got lost in the scuffle, and we were okay. I looked around and I saw Dominic. I saw his wife. She was cornered, by the way. They had her cornered, and people were just going off on her. And Dominic ran towards his wife and to try to help her, but I never let go of Dominic. From beginning to end, I always had an arm on Dominic. I was always pulling him back. I was always, there for my man. And the kids got lost. But we had no idea where they were. So, I'm like, where's the kids? Where's the kids? And that's when Dominic lost it again. We tried to get Dominic to go right by the elevators. There's a pub, a restaurant. That we tried to get Dominic to walk into the pub. And by then there was security and whatnot. More security. So, like I said, Lou, and there's a couple people that got involved to try to help out with the situation, and then the gentleman came to us and said, "The kids are fine. The kids are fine." And where are they? You can't tell me that the kids are fine and they're nowhere to be seen. Where's the kids? Where's the kids? And eventually they told us that the kids were in the women's bathroom. They were being protected by a couple of ladies looking over them. And but they saw. I mean, can you imagine a 5-year-old son and his older son, I think he's 9 years old. So after that happened, I started screaming, U.S. and cowards, U.S. and cowards, because that's what they were. That was a cowardly attack. You can't call it anything else than that. It was a cowardly attack. There's no excuse for it. I don't know what went through Deontay's mind. Why would he react this way? I mean, if you have if you feel that Dominic, said something or then why don't you just approach a man or be a man about the situation. I don't know. I they're saying Dominic threatened the brother and the family. I think it was with his wife and kids, man. Like that. Of course, not. If you want to make up a story like that, but come on, man. I mean, this doesn't make any sense. That's what it was. That's what happened. I don't know what else to tell you.
Well, Manny, this is Boxing MD, one of the co-hosts, and obviously Deontay Wilder has a different story to say. Like you said, it had to do with threatening and provoking, but the story that you say is obviously a horrific story from your perspective. But the question that I have is, if exactly what happened is the case, and there's video evidence and all of these children, of course, children shouldn't be involved in any adult scuffle, especially young children, of course. Were there police involved, and were there charges filed? Because it seems like there's a lot of laws broken in the public eye, so that, like Dominic said, this won't go unpunished. So is that the route that you guys are taking?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I support Dominic, whatever decision, whatever route Dominic decides to take, whatever decision he decides to make. I mean, I support him 100%, but this cannot go unpunished. The representative, the heavyweight representative of the WBC. Come on, man. This is we're not in high school here. This isn't. We're not children. This type of behavior should not be allowed. I mean, I've never seen anything like this in my entire life, man. Anything at all. I mean, we find ourselves in situations, as we're at the weigh-ins. You saw the situation between Danny Garcia's dad and Keith Thurman and the team. And okay, it's a press conference, and whatever it is, okay, and it doesn't go beyond that, And this was definitely uncalled for, man. This was not. People are saying that this was, part of it's trying to put on a show, trying to sell a fight. No way, man. By no means necessary. No way. No way. This is as real as it gets, man. There came a point where I said, well, Dominic went down and I got punched in the face a couple times here and there. I don't even know who hit me. I don't know who hit me. I was in, as in between the scuffle, man. I mean, you don't know. But I can tell you that there came a point where I said, this is it right here. We're going to get beat down. There was no other way to look at it. This is it. I mean, people might think it's a lot of people out there. I see people hear people's comments, read people's comments, and might think this is a joke, or it wasn't. It wasn't. I really felt that we were going to get beat down, and who knows what could happen. I mean, but thank God the situation didn't escalate any further, but it was pretty bad, man. It was pretty bad. It wasn't good at all. And like I said, to the children, that's one thing. I was Dominic the whole time, but one thing that stuck in my mind during the whole situation was the kids. The kids. What I mean, like, look at the videos, look at the footage, man. I can't even see myself in the footage, because I'm 5'7". We're dealing with large individuals here. Can you imagine the children? Being in the middle of a scuffle like that. So again, like I said, it got pretty bad, and we were shooken up pretty bad, and we're trying to go about our normal lives here. I'm at the gym now with my boxers, and trying to get back to normal, but it'll be a while before we get over this, and it's a dirty shame how the way Deontay reacted to the situation, whatever that might have been. There was no reason for him to react the way he did. And you want to talk about something, you will talk to the person as a man, and and you know, you reach out to the person, you talk to the person, but not like this. You know, not like this. And I know Dominic. Dominic is not that type of individual. Dominic had his family fly in from LA to Alabama. You know, brought his wife and his kids to the fights, and we're having a great time. Great time, man. I mean, thank God we walked away with the win. We understand how difficult this sport is, man. I mean, people don't understand that these guys, man, and Dominic proved to the world that boxing ain't no joke, man. You put your life on the line every time you step in the ring, you know? And we're all professionals here. We're supposed to behave like professionals, act like professionals, but that wasn't the case with Deontay and his team.
Hey, Manny, because obviously there's a lot of conflicting news from everywhere. I just want you to set the record straight here on the Boxing Voice. So cops were there the night of the incident. Am I correct? Cops were there?
They got there, but they got there late, as they always do, right?
And then people were speaking to the police, trying to file police reports the night of?
There was a police report. We did file a police report. I have that with me. You know, they walked us to our room, and it almost seemed like there were security guards. I was like, are these guys cops? You know, are these guys security guards? No, they're cops. I was like, geez, man, because I'm like, I didn't know who I was talking to. I swear to God, man, I was like, who am I speaking to? You know, and you know, they were kind enough to walk us to the room, and they had a security guard. We had to transfer hotels. We had to go stay somewhere else, of course. We had to catch our flight the following day, so you know, we're gonna go stay at another place. And of course, we didn't get no sleep. You know, I mean, I you know, no sleep at all. We stayed up, and we couldn't wait to get back home. We had another officer wait for us in the lobby the following morning and drive us to the airport, and that was that. You know, good to get back home.
Yeah, like again, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not a lawyer, but I understand how the law works in a lot of ways. And so you're saying that there are police reports on record, and that you will take the legal route because, like I said, like what you described was, I mean, if you have a group of 20 people and you have a small group of people with women and children, and it's just talk back and forth, there's no weapons or physical threat of the other group, it seems to me that it's a clear-cut case. So we should expect some legal action. That's what we should, as boxing fans and people who watch the sport, should expect, right?
Definitely, there will be legal action. Definitely, this like I said, this cannot go unpunished, man. This cannot be overlooked. This is as real as it gets. You know, I mean, so yes. To answer your question, yes, we will file charges. Yes, we had people looking into taking care of the situation already. You know, looking into the situation, and we'll see where this takes us. But you know, like I said, I mean, come on, man. I mean, this goes out to Deontay. Come on, man. Tell the truth, man. You know, don't. Come on, man. Be real, man. I mean, you messed up. You made a big mistake, and you know, I can't say that you know. Apparently, there's a statement where Dominic's wife, you know, told Deontay, hey, you know, the kids are here, you know, and apparently Deontay said, I don't give an F. I don't give an F about your kids, man. I'm like, and I told him myself, hey, the kids are here. The kids are here. We have the children. The kids are here. All he said was, take your effing hands off me. But the only thing I was trying to do was to just calm down the situation, man. I mean, come on, man. You know, relax. Why would you behave this way? No matter what a man said, you know? You don't behave in this fashion. You behave this way, especially knowing that his wife and kids are there. That's not a man. You know what I mean? And the rest is history, man. Punches were thrown and you know, got mobbed. Right? Now, Deontay and the mob squad, huh? And And then the rest is history, like I said, man. You know, there's an individual there, I guess that's his brother, that really took it overboard as well. You know, really took it overboard. And I don't know what he told his brother Deontay, but man, whatever it was, must have not been good because Deontay fell for it, and and I'm sure it was a lie. For a man to behave the way he did, man, there's no, you know, like Dominic's a great guy, man. Dominic's an educated individual, you know, double majored, you know, former quarterback. This guy's a class act, man. I mean, he's never been in trouble with the law. Never had a situation. I mean, every time he fights, he brings his wife and kids to the fight. What? Come on, man. Yeah, you know, this is boxing, and as you understand, you know, there's words. You know, you know, sometimes you know, like I said at the press conference or at the interviews, you intimidate fighters and say, "I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna beat you," but it doesn't go beyond that, man. We were in London. He fought Anthony Joshua, and what a class act Anthony Joshua is, man. I mean, words were done and said during a press conference. It's part of the fight. It's not an act, but it's part of the fight, man. Trying to build up a fight, you know, I'm going to beat you. Yeah, well, I'll beat you. I'll knock you out. Yeah, well, I'll knock you. That's it. It doesn't go beyond that. And after the fight, man, Anthony, man, was a true gentleman. You know, showed great class, good sportsmanship, you know, as his team and ourselves included. You know, you win, you lose. You win some, you lose some. You know, unfortunately, we walked away with the loss, but the people, the crowd showed so much respect for Dominic and the team, and because he gave his heart and soul into the fight. And that's what it is, man. And these guys are athletes. And like I said, and I mean, they did not go beyond it. And it was great. We had a great experience. Walked away with the loss, but we learned a lot from that fight. And obviously, again, you know, Anthony was a true gentleman, true representative of the sport and of being a heavyweight champion of the world.
Manny, from your version of the story, you sound very close. I mean, at one point you said that you never left Dominic Breazeale's side, that you always had one hand on him, and that when you seen footage, you could not even see yourself. That's how big the mob was. Am I correct?
Yeah, but there is footage where obviously I see myself, you know, but there was a period, there was a certain situation where when he got jumped, I was right in the middle. Maybe that's where I got hit. but I never left him, you know. I was always right there with him from beginning to end. One way or another, I was right there. So yes.
So I mean, we would assume that out of anyone, you should have known who threw what blows, right? Because there is a mob, but are we certain of who threw this punch?
Yeah, the videos will show, the evidence will show who threw these punches.
Well, the one on TMZ is the most famous one. Have you seen the most famous one? Obviously, TMZ being.
You haven't seen anything, man.
Oh, you guys
TMZ,
have more.
Whatever video. Oh my goodness, man! That TMZ whatever video does not do us justice, man. That's nothing. I promise you, that's nothing, man. I got some videos with me that will blow your mind. I'm telling you, man. That was nothing.
Is there a reason that you haven't released those videos?
Yeah, why would you not? I mean, because
is it the legal? Yes, it could be the legal process.
But wait a minute. Deontay's statement says that he never threw a punch. Why would you not? I don't know. I mean, debunk that if you have video of him throwing punches.
Because it's not. Look, man. I mean, I gotta be careful. You know, before I got on this phone call, man, I really questioned myself. Is this something that I want to do? Why? Because you know what I mean. It's a difficult situation. It's a difficult situation for me to be in. I want this guy to and his crew to like I said, I don't want this to go unnoticed. I want the world to know exactly what happened. But as you know, I'm going to stick with my story, man, because this is what happened. This is what really happened. This isn't something that I'm making up. And like I said, the evidence will show, the videos will show exactly who did what and what did what. But I know I'm telling the truth. I know that deep down inside, you know, Deontay knows exactly what happened. And the truth will prevail, man. The truth always comes out.
But you have the video. You
Like
have
I
the
said,
ability to put it out.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
But that's what I'm saying. You
Yes,
have
I
the
do.
ability to
And
put it
I'm
out and set the record straight.
I'm gonna leave that. Look, exactly, and I'm gonna leave that up to Dominic.
Oh, okay.
I'll leave that up to Dominic.
That's totally
You
understandable.
know what I'm saying? I know. I'll leave that up to Dominic, man. I don't want to. You know, hey, if anybody was hurt, more than myself and the team from the whole situation, it was Dominic and his family. So I want him to go out and expose this individual and his team and expose and show the world exactly what happened. And all of that's gonna come out with time. All of that stuff, all of these videos, they're all gonna come out, and you're gonna see exactly what happened. You know, like I said, that TMZ video, man, does not do us justice. And if Deontay thinks that's all there is, then he's got another thing coming, because there's a lot of footage out there, a lot of footage.
Wow.
Manny, let me just ask you a question about that. And I understand, obviously, it's under Dominic's wishes what you do, because you know you are his trainer and you would stand by him whatever he says. But while we're asking these questions, and we give equal platform for both sides of the story, which is why we appreciate you trying to set the record straight. You know, because we have a large outreach and the fans like to know, you know, from the somebody who was there. But you know, obviously Deontay Wilder, being a world champion, has a larger social media platform, has a larger PR platform. And why we ask that question is that video is more powerful than even that platform, because it could say it could dispute anything he's saying. So I think that's not to, we don't want to disrespect Dominic by asking that. It's just from a perspective of, you know, you have to get ahead of a story sometimes to put your fighter in the light, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah. I understand, and like I said, you guys will see all of these videos. I'm before I got on this call with you guys, I called Dominic and I asked Dominic for permission. Do I have your permission to get on the phone and tell my version of the story, to let people know what happened, right? He gave me his approval, and this is the only reason. Man, I'm loyal to Dominic, you know, and to my fighters. You know, I don't know if you know who I am, but Dominic isn't the only fighter that I represent, that I work with. You know, I have Jesse Magdaleno, champion of the world, WBO super bantamweight champion of the world, Oscar Valdez, WBO featherweight champion of the world, among other, you know, athletes or boxers that are pretty well known. So, you know, I mean, I represent my fighters, of course, like I said, and if it's Dominic's wishes, then I'll go ahead and post these videos. I'll go ahead and send them to you. But he's got to give me green light. You know what I mean? Just like as he gave me green light to be on this conversation with you guys. By all means, Coach, go ahead and do so. You know what I mean? But I'll gladly send you the videos. But again, you know, Dominic has to say go. It's a go, yes, no, and then I'll, you know, I have no problem. Like you said, the world will know, but I'm leaving that to Dominic's discretion. He might want to be the one to do it.
Well, Manny, I want to thank you. I know that you said you were busy, and we've had you for so long. Thank you again. And I did let everyone know who it is that you do train, just in case they didn't. But you're well known around these parts in the boxing community, so people know that you're a stand-up guy. We want to, again, thank you for coming on the show, giving us the time, your version. Thank Dominic as well when you get a chance for allowing you, because that, you know, like you said, he could have said no. So, you know, shout out to him. Obviously, again, congratulations on the fight. It was a wonderful fight for sure. And Dominic came through. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time. Hey, Matt.